This is an update to an update that I'm going to not put up. I did some fiddly work today. We have our wiring harness all soldered up, taped up, ready to go. We got power for fuel. This runs down into this wire here, and that goes to here, which goes into the there's also a little temperature switch there that runs in and comes back down to this, which I think this is like a high idle when it's cold. We got water temperature here. I'm gonna get a fitting to go in here, and that will let me plug this into my forward temperature sender unit. So I gotta get a fitting that will let the temperature unit go into there, and see if we can get one. If not, I'll have to modify that wire and use the Dodge style one, which is probably a little bit better. It's got a little bit longer reach in there, but you know, water's still going to get in there and still going to touch the sensor, so I don't care too much. But we do want it to be accurate. And then this Cummins oil pressure sensor, it's got a smaller fitting. It's a lot smaller than the one in the Ford, so I'll have to get a fitting to go in there that'll be a little bit bigger for the new oil pressure sensor. And then this wire here will then plug into my sensor. I want to use the Ford wiring harness specifically just because I don't have to cut this up any more than I had to, and I want to be able to use the Ford sender unit. That way if it goes bad I can always get another one. So I got this right out behind this oil filter or fuel filter setup, and then just zip tie it into place there. Oops, sorry. And then set up to come right here and plug into my sensor. And then, as I said, I got my two plugs. This one here for the power, I took off the brain box, which is just over there in that box, and just took the red wire. It's going to go to here. I believe this white wire is a ground. I'm not entirely sure, but I remember when I tested for power on the red one here, I just had the my ground on my voltmeter attached to body ground, and then just touched the red wire, and then it got 12 volts. So this will have body grounds and alternator and battery grounds on it, so this will be able to all work. And then this one here is just for the the two sensors, oil pressure and fuel. I mean water, sorry. So this is ready to plug and play. The alternator I have yet to figure out. Well, I think I figured it out, but I'm not exactly sure if it'll work. And it's going to be double regulated. It'll be internal and then external in there. We'll see if that works. I think it might. The reason I want to do that is because I don't want to chop up the wiring harness coming from the cab, because I don't want to, if I mess it up, I don't want to have to go back and try and fix it. But really what I want to do is just have it where when the key is on, it turns on that regulator box and then lets power and everything go through the wires and let the alternator turn on and not drain your battery when you shut it off. So we'll see if that works. I know the one goes right to the battery, or from the alternator to the battery, and then the one that excites it is switched on that thing. So we'll see what happens when we do it that way. We'll do load testing and stuff when we get our new alternator and get it somewhat wired up. I think this is how I'm going to have my tube. Just have it, and then filter, and then make a little heat shield so it keeps engine heat from getting to it. That'll be a temporary setup until we get something more proper. We got our new thingamajigs, new fittings, new clamps. I'm gonna get some more of these. I'll use those for the radiator. Same thing up here. I spent about 50 bucks on clamps and the couplers at Baxter's. And then this tube and this clamp came with the engine when I bought it. I just haven't showed it yet. But I got that ran down on there pretty good. It's got a nice seal. From the looks of it, this pipe might have to be shortened right here. So I'll figure out where it needs to be, because I need it to go over right there on top of that cross member. So if it looks like it's going to come down lower, which I don't want it to do, I want everything to be tucked up kind of within these frame rails. So but if need be, cut it here and here, mark where it needs to be to line up with the exhaust system, and then from there I'll go to the shop down the street from me and have them weld that back up. So, and then the muffler that I just bought, this Jones exhaust muffler, which is a really good muffler. I bought it with a 3" in and a dual 3" in and dual 2.5 out. Right now it's set up for dual 2.5 in and 3 out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the muffler around, have the one 3" welded up, and then this, since that's already 3". This will go, you know, little 3" section. Maybe I'll probably use a flex joint, and then cat pipe, and then muffler, and then it'll be 3" into the muffler, and then it'll be dual 2.5 out. And I'm gonna have a shop make me up a tailpipe, so I think it'll probably come out somewhere underneath the bumper like you would on a V8 rig. So, nah, excited. I'm happy. I think that's what we'll do. And I'm going to do electric fans. I found a couple of 16". I think they're Hayden or Flexolite electric fans from Connects. So I'll end up getting a couple of those and cramming those on the Dodge radiator that I'm going to use. I'm going to use a radiator for 89 Ram, which is for the 5.9 Cummins. So that should be plenty sufficient for this 4BT or 3.9 liter. And then we'll be able to use the radiator hoses that come with the Dodge Ram. They should go right on here. I wonder. Yeah, I don't think you can switch that around. I've seen some of these have it where the neck comes out this way, but I think what I saw from the Dodge hose is that it comes this way and then curves right down into here. So, and this is pretty normal too. So yeah, I'll be able to use Dodge radiator, Dodge hoses. That way it's more of a common hose, and if it pops, we can get one from an auto parts store and not have to jimmy rig something. So it'll be a nice, reliable setup. And I got my oil pan gasket is on order. I was just playing with the dogs. I'm still out of breath. I got my oil pan gasket on order. It hasn't shipped yet, so I don't know when I'll get it. If anything, at the most, probably next week. And then I just went to AutoZone to order the front and rear main seal. And when you get the timing cover set, or timing cover gasket for this, there's one that has just the gasket, which I need, and then the front seal and a repair sleeve comes with it. And then the rear one has a gasket and a seal. So we'll be doing that this week. And then I ordered what I thought were frame stands for this from LMC Truck, but as it turns out, they were just the motor mounts for the inline 6, the actual rubber portion. So I have to put the return labels on that, leave a note, just say, return funds, send it back to them, and then away we went. But I'm getting the rubber mounts, the 4BT to Ford i6 frame stand mounts I'll be getting those. They're just a square thing with 2 studs on each end, or a stud on each end. Getting those tomorrow. This bad boy, the people who want this engine, we're gonna come today, but it's Memorial Day and they're out camping, blah blah blah. So it sounds like tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm hoping tomorrow that they'll come pick this thing up, and I'll have $600. $600. I use a little bit of that to get some more stuff for this, like the fittings, the sensors, and whatnot. Whatever else this thing needs to be ready to go. But I think it'll be pretty much resealed within the next week or so. I got a power steering pump. Really for right now, that power steering pump, just throw some oil in it so it's got some lubrication, and then just we'll get it fired up next week. I will be putting a new fuel pump on it too. Let's get a new fuel pump and a new hose. I've got new fuel hose for that. So yeah, that'll be cool. And then once we get it into the truck, we can figure out what we're going to do for a throttle cable.